Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Jim from Jim's Coleus. How's everybody doing? Been a while, huh? No, a few days. Hey, I think we set a record. We dropped the seeds on Saturday, late morning through the day. Here it is, Wednesday. I checked them actually yesterday. So, what we got? Tuesday. So we got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. So 3 days, I got germinations already. So if you're following along and your germinations haven't shown up yet, don't get discouraged. It doesn't mean anything that mine went first and yours are lagging behind. There's a lot to it. Although I am using the heating mats. It's a bright location. I have grow lights going. All that supplements it. And of course the Jiffy Pods, they really help in the dome. So I'm going to go over real quick, show you what to do if you're around or when you expect to see your germination show up, what you should be doing, whether you're using the Jiffy Pods, the trays, or pots, or what have you with the saran wrap covering. Remember, it's really important to use a covering for the moist soil to keep that soil moist, especially the top, because the seeds, remember, they're on the top. So if you don't cover them, if you don't cover your pods or your trays, the seeds, the very top is what's going to dry out the first, so the seeds aren't going to germinate because they're not getting the moisture. That's why the dome or the plastic covering is important to get the light in and keep the moisture going. And then, of course, you're in charge of the warmth. So, okay, so let's go over. I'm going to show you real quick, just so you can gauge yours when you come in and what to do next to make sure your germinations get off started real well and healthy. That's important because then you're gonna have healthy Coleus plants. So, all right, let's take a look over real quick. Okay, nothing fancy. Again, this is my my bay window I'm always praising about, and my rootings, my overwintered. Look at that jitters. It's going. It's absolutely, it's mad. It's just crazy. The rootings are doing great. I actually moved some of these rootings from the living room port windows. I put them out here because they get a lot more light here. And it's been very chilly. We've been in the teens and so forth, so I put them out here where it's a little warmer. And then now it's going to be getting a little more mild. I'll put them back by the windows, but they get good adequate light, but even better here. Of course, the rustic is going crazy, and look at this Darth Vader. That's the two plants and the colossal marble. Got some seeds coming in. We're going to pick that. We don't need seed stalks now. But crazy, crazy growth here. The light and the warmth here is just magnificent. It's perfect for indoor Coleus. So if you want to keep your potted Coleus going, a bright, bright window. I use the Miracle Grow plant spikes, and I water it, especially here because I got the heat register, the sun. It's always warm here, so these pots tend to dry out. This is like a medium, small pot. These dry out pretty quick, so I water them every other day. I give them a good shot of water, and of course they're drained. Make sure your pots have drain holes. So they're doing really well, especially these Darth Vaders, just off the hook, beautiful. Okay, so here we go. Here's my simple corner plastic indoor greenhouse. I got this at Home Depot. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's. They're like $60 or something like that, $40 depending on the shelves. You don't need a lot of shelves. I use them. Again, if it's the first time you're following along, thank you. Subscribe. Here is the full spectrum LED plant light. Very safe. No heat. You can see I have it right up against the plastic. Very, very safe. No heat. Very economical. It uses really like no electricity. And I have another type of LED grow light. This has adjustable arms, so you can move it around back and forth, up and down, and it has different intensities, and it has a timer. So these are pretty good. This is a clip-on. Both of those I got on Amazon. If you can't find it, just shoot me a message, and I'll forward you a link to these exact grow lights, so you can use them. You can get your own. Okay, right now I have. This is a great spot for the greenhouse because it's between two heat registers, and I do have the heat mats going. It's closed up. I got the dome, and I have it partially closed, zipped up on both sides. Nice, and it's just a perfect environment for germinations, which is why in 2 days, boom, I got germinations. Now let's go take a look at them. Okay, so I rolled this up now. First thing you want to do, once you start seeing your little germinations pop up, I'm going to take this dome off just to show you. The first thing you want to do is you don't want to take the dome lid off, but you want to pop the side. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you want to take the top or the saran wrap and just pop it off slightly on an angle to let some air in. Just enough to let some air in, and keep it that way. You don't want to take the dome off completely at this point yet, because the germinations are still, they're tender. They rely on the moisture still and the light, but the moisture is very important. So you don't want to take the dome off and then evaporate all the moisture, because then they're going to dry and die. So you want to get these, I'm continuing with the heat mat. Again, I have a heat mat under a cardboard box, so it's not baking the germinations. The heat is rising up. I actually have one on because I just don't want to overheat it because of the heat register here. I'm just learning from my mistake last year when I first used heat mats, where I cooked my germinations and they stalled. But I have this heat mat going right now, and that heat rises up. It keeps them nice and moist. But I did have this heat mat on for a day or so, and I just turned this one on because these germinations haven't started, or they're just starting to come in now. So they were a little bit behind. And I planted them all at the same time, although I said I was going to do one tray each day. I've been doing this long enough that I could pretty much gauge, and Coleus do grow at a little different rate each one. So I've managed my time as far as when I separate these and pot them. So, but anyway, you can see that the warmth does make a difference, because these germinations, they started, they were all planted at the same time. These showed up first because I had the heat mat on here, but I didn't have this heat mat on. Just experimentation. That's the only way you really learn how to do things, is experiment. Failure, don't worry about if your seeds don't germinate. Don't worry if you're growing for the first time and they die. I've had it happen. There's certain reasons, and that's why I do this. That's why I have this channel for you guys, so you can follow along. It's very simple, and your chances of having a successful crop are significantly better if you just follow the simple directions that I give. So, all right, so I'm gonna take the domes. I'm gonna take the tray out real quick just for purposes of showing you. So as you can see, we have pretty much 100% germination. Every pod, every seed. Well, let me mark that, correct myself. Not every seed, because we can see there's only one coming in here. So we were going to say 100% germination, but 100% of the pods are germinating. Each seed may be a little quicker, but you can see they're all about the same size. And these are very, very young. Those are the cotyledons I told you, the little satellite dishes, and they basically are the food that provide that the real leaves, the actual secondary or the main Coleus leaves. It feeds those leaves. So these are your false little ears that I showed you. So you're not going to see color on these yet. The second set of leaves will be coming in. Here's a little close-up. The second set, the actual set of leaves that are your Coleus plant, they'll show up in another week or so, and I'll shoot out a video. And again, it's good to grow sow a lot, because you can see maybe that one's not doing too well, but it's still early. It's still early. We're not gonna judge any of these. So you can see everything is doing really well. Very important. You have your top. If you have the room, and the greenhouse wasn't really good, but pop the top like this, just on the corner. It keeps the pods pretty much covered. but it allows air to circulate in, and that's important to get the oxygen in to get these growing. All right, now I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to say this because I'm going to say it in future videos also, because you learn on my channel by repetition. And if I find something very important, I'm going to repeat it over and over and over again. And if you watch a lot of my videos, you're going to know what to do, because you remember. When you have trays like this, whether it's 72, 50, or 10, the outer pods are going to dry out faster than the inner ones, because the inner ones are going to draw in the moisture from the surrounding ones. Having the dome on really increases it. However, in another, I want to say 3 weeks, don't hold me to it, I'm going to take this dome off probably, because once the germinations, by then they're not be germinations, they're going to be Coleus, they're going to be baby Coleus, juvenile Coleus. They're going to be about this tall. They may be getting close to the top of the dome. I'm going to take that dome off. So you got to really be careful and keep track of especially the perimeter pods, that they don't dry out. Get accustomed to what well-watered pods feel like, the weight. And then when they start to dry a little bit, you'll know. You're going to be like, oh, wow, look at that. It's dry and it's so light. So get accustomed to that and water them as they dry out. Now, again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to repeat it in future videos, but just remember that. And that goes for your pots too. If you're using seed starter mix in a pot, same concept. Cover, germinations show, loosen off your saran wrap, make sure that it's still getting good light, warmth, and moisture. The 3 keys: light, warmth, and moisture. So. Okay, now here's the other one that's next to it, and these are the trays on the top shelf. And you can see, same thing. You can see them all. They're starting to come in. Still, you can see that's pretty moist. Still very moist. And I want to say 95% of the pods are starting to germinate. So now, what do you do if you have 10 pods or 25 pods and you seed them, and 80% of the pods are germinated, but you got maybe 5 or 6 that don't, and after a week there's no seeds coming up? Then you just reseed. Just fluff the pod gently with a little fork, drop your seed, your new seed, reseed it, tap it down just like you're planting originally, and then you'll see, hopefully the second round will come in, because you may have some immature seeds. There's a lot of factors. But just in general, I can look on this video here as I'm shooting it. I could see, not to the naked eye, but through my phone here, I could see some germinations that look like they might be popping through. But this is the very initial early stages, so we want to get these back into the greenhouse. This is like Alice in Wonderland, that scene when the walrus goes down below the sea and those little baby oysters, he's trying to coax them out, and the mother, it was March, and it's too early to leave the oyster bed, but they didn't listen. So anyway, okay, so let's get these back into the warmth. And again, we're going to cover and pop the side of the tray top to make sure they're getting air now. Remember now, I do sell my seeds that I feature on all of my YouTube channel videos. If you're interested in getting some seeds, I still have a number of packs up on my eBay listing. That's Jim's Coleus. I have Kongs, a variety of Kongs. I have some Jitters. I have some Saturn Defiance and some Darth Vaders, but they were very difficult this year to remove the chaff. So what I did is, when I poured out the chaff and the seeds, I tried to separate as much as I could on white paper plates, and I did manage to separate the seeds. So if you want those, I can put them in. So I do have some. I have about 5 varieties of Coleus available, and just go to my eBay listing. That's Jim's Coleus on eBay, or go to my Instagram page or Facebook page, Jim's Holiest of Coleus. I have a link in my Instagram bio directly to my eBay page listing, and also Facebook. I have numerous links right to my eBay listing if you want to buy some Jim's Holiest of Coleus seeds. I've sold so many packs since October. I get lots of rave reviews. I sold them all last year too. Rave reviews, people are very happy with them. I give you a lot of seeds, and everybody tells me that they get 90, 100%, 98% germination, just as I am. It's the same seeds that I grow, I grow my crops some. So if you're interested in Jim's Coleus seeds, eBay, check them out. And again, just like my YouTube video and farmers market proceeds, I regularly donate money to Paralyzed Veterans America, Wounded Warriors, and the USO. I just sent Paralyzed Veterans PVA $135 this month. So anything, all your purchases, and you watching my videos alone right there contributes to these great causes. So I want to thank you very much. Okay, so I hope, again, use this as a guide. Don't worry if your germinations haven't appeared yet. Give them some more time. If they haven't, double check, make sure it's warm enough. Make sure you didn't bury your seeds. Remember, the Coleus seeds have to be dropped on top of the surface and just gently pressed down. You don't want to bury them because they need light. Make sure you didn't bury your seeds. Make sure the medium, whether it's the pods or your soil, is moist enough. Make sure you're not using garden soil outdoors in pots, because it's not very good for seeds to germinate in. And make sure it's covered and so forth. Make sure you have adequate light. If you don't have any grow lights, try to get a window, and just make sure it's not drafty. So that's why it's good to get these grow lights, and they're very inexpensive and safe. That's the main thing. Hey, just a quick word. I have a little bit of sad news. I'm not trying to be positive, but I've had Yorkie so many years. My beloved Newton has taken a little bad turn, and he's older. He's 13, and he's losing a lot of weight, and he's very weak. I just had him in the emergency room yesterday, and I have him home on pain medication and some cortisone. His blood work had a numerous red flags, so I have to decide what I want to do. He's not in any pain really. He's just very lethargic, and it's very sad. So, but we're gonna keep our prayers going for my beloved Newton here. He's been with me a long time, 13 years. Okay, so it's noon. It's noon. It's such a pleasant thing to have. I love grandfather clocks. Okay, so check. Keep watching. Keep an eye out. I'll be shooting a video shortly, probably another week, when I'm going to get these going. Once I get the secondary, the true leaves, they're called the true leaves. Those are your actual Coleus plant. Once they are in, and I can show you, and some of them will show color very, very shortly. I mean, within another week or two, I'm going to have true leaves with some or many with color. So stay tuned. The videos will be coming in pretty regularly, so subscribe, follow along Jim's Holiest of Coleus through the whole season. It's just going to be really a lot of fun, because it's such an easy thing and a relaxing thing to do. Unless you're growing 700, and I think I planted 775 Coleus this year. It's a lot of work, but I do it for a good reason. So, but for yourself to grow 20, 25 Coleus or whatever it is, it's a lot of fun. Especially if you're going to give the plants away. Grow a plant for somebody. It's such a great thing. So, all right. So thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Remember, check out my eBay store, and prayers for my little Yorkie Newton. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in about a week. Take care.